Drop to Jonathan Taylor. Huge hole. He's at the 30. He's going to go. 10, 5, touchdown. Jonathan Taylor made a man miss the line of scrimmage and then runs it into Pater. A one-handed INT. Are you kidding me? Kenny Moore.
What a play by Nyheim Hines. What's going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another Bring the Juice Colts podcast live stream. Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I know I am here. It's nice and sunny outside. I can see out the window. It is gorgeous outside, but I am here spending it with all of you guys. Thank you so much. And if you guys see by the title of the video, it is our first live mock draft. You guys have been asking me to do this for a couple weeks now. So figured I'd get it in today. Took a little bit of planning, but I'm glad to have all of these guys here to help me out. You guys know who I am. I'm Derek Larger, co-host of the Bring the Juice Colts podcast. We're going to start here. I'm going to let all these guys go ahead and introduce themselves, their channels. Jet Central, we'll start with you. We'll go down the line, man.
Yeah, man. Well, first and foremost, thanks so much for having me on. It's definitely always a good time doing a mock draft, especially with other content creators. But yeah, I run a YouTube channel called Jet Central, covers all things New York Jets, and then of course breaking news as well.
Destin?
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Destin Adams. I'm also in the Colts content creator community as well with Derek. I am the CEO and co-owner of thebluestable.com. You can find us on Twitter at @theblue_stable. Or you can look me up at Destin_Adams14.
All right, Derek, thanks for having me. Glad to be here. I am Nick Edlin, a.k.a. the Lupagus from the One Bar and Lupagus Show, Minnesota Vikings, daily content every single day. Check us out on YouTube.
And I am Darian Hopkins, the CEO and owner of Spotlight Sports Network. And I am my YouTube channel is Spotlight Raiders Talk. All your latest news in Raiders news over here at the Spotlight Raiders Talk. You can follow me on Twitter at Spotlight Art and Talk.
Yeah, so thank you again to all these guys here for joining in. I do know that I put out a tweet, I think yesterday, saying there's going to be a couple different guys here, but unfortunately some things happened today. We're just, moving around with things that we got. So, it's unfortunate. I know Cody's in here saying, where's UCF Jaguar? Believe me, dude, I tried to get him in here. He's just busy. He has some stuff to do. So, I'm still grateful for all these guys here. In case you guys don't know who some of these guys are, we've collabed with every single one of these guys here multiple times over the last few years, basically over this last season. So greatly appreciate having them all here. And so without really doing a whole lot more talking, we're just going to go ahead and get into this live mock draft here. So got it. It should show up on the screen. Let me know if you guys are having issues seeing any of it. Just let me know in the comments and I can fix something up, but it should be okay. And I got the order. I'll make sure to tell the guys here because I had to mix it up right before I started. But we'll just go ahead and get started with this. The first pick in the 2021 NFL draft. This one, pretty simple one here for me. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. Just makes the most sense here. Trevor Lawrence, the most pro-ready quarterback right now. It's all been – there's even been the rumors of Lawrence even got a hold of the Jaguars playbook, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not, but that would make a lot of sense. But, yeah, it sounds like the Jags are going to make this short and sweet to the point. So Trevor Lawrence here. Jets are up next, and we'll give it to my guy Jet Central here.
Yes, so, no surprise with Trevor Lawrence going off the board. I'm going with Zach Wilson here. Definitely going with a quarterback. You can make an argument for Justin Fields, and I would actually love that, but Zach Wilson fits the system. His upside is tremendous. He could come in and really pick up the offense. He's been doing a lot of what the Jets are going to be doing at BYU, so all in all, it makes a ton of sense. I'm going with Wilson.
All right. Pretty cool. Next, we have the 49ers at Number 3 here, Lupicus, we'll go ahead and have you select the number 3 overall pick here.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be a quarterback. The question is, are they actually going to really pull the trigger on Mac Jones? I just can't do it. I can't do it until I see it. I'm going to go with Justin Fields here. In my mind, all these rumors coming out about him, not looking beyond his second read, not being a gamer, a throwing motion like a pitcher. It's all a bunch of crap to me. I think he is the third best quarterback in this draft. I think he does go to the San Francisco 49ers.
All right. I appreciate you not falling into the Mac Jones trap there. I'm glad you didn't do that because I can't have that happen on this channel. I just can't let it happen. Dustin, you have the number 4 pick with the Atlanta Falcons. I know a lot of people again are saying, "Oh, well, they would normally trade it." We're not doing trades in this one. It's just going to be straight up just who they think we would get. So, Dustin, your pick, number 4 with the Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think this is probably a place that someone trades up for and tries to get that 4th quarterback of the top 4, which should be Trey Lance. Can't imagine anyone actually pulls the trigger on Mac Jones myself. Man, the Falcons have a lot of things they could go here. I'm going to go ahead and just take the best non-quarterback, and that's Kyle Pitts. I think the Falcons have a lot of needs on defense, but I think adding a guy like Kyle Pitts to that offense is going to make the Falcons' best defense they can make right now is making their offense better, going the Kansas City Chiefs route.
Yeah, like you said, with Matt Ryan potentially being out the door at some point soon, though, they'll still have a chance to get a quarterback, even if they don't end up being that great. But yeah, adding a weapon like Kyle Pitts to that offense of the future is truly, truly insane. Darian, you have the number 5 pick with the Cincinnati Bengals. You are on the clock.
Well, as I see right now with the Cincinnati Bengals, no, sir, be quiet. I got my godson here. I'm sorry.
Oh, you all good, man. You all good.
But me personally, the way that Joe Burrow needs an offensive line, I'm going to go offensive line and get the best one on the board. That's Penei Sewell out of Oregon. I think he's the guy that's going to help out Joe Burrow. He's coming off an injury. Joe Burrow's the future, so you got to protect your future and get that offensive lineman there at number 5.
I can appreciate that. There was a lot of debate on the Chase versus Sewell debate there. Show of hands, who thinks that in this group here, who thinks they should go Chase? Anyone here? No? All right. We're all on the same page here.
Listen, if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have nothing else. That's what I'm saying. So you got to protect your future.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And, this plays right into my hand because I have the 6th pick here, and that is the Miami Dolphins. And they're looking for a weapon that they truly need. And this falls right into their lap. And that is Jamar Chase, wide receiver out of LSU. I mean, just makes total sense. I mean, Chase posted a 4.4 40 time. His resume speaks for itself at LSU. I mean, this guy was a baller. So it makes total sense he would go here. All right. Number 7, Detroit Lions. We got Jet Central coming back up.
So I really think it's between a couple players here. You could target the wide receiver position, maybe linebacker. There's some stuff about Micah Parsons that I kind of feel a little sketchy about. So with that being said, I think the Lions need to get more explosive. I'm going wide receiver Jalen Waddle. He helps out not only on special teams, but you can line him up on the outside, on the inside. You can send him on end arounds. You could send him down the field. Just get the football to him and let him work. Jared Goff needs wide receivers that can separate. You can argue Devontae Smith, and that would be an awesome pick as well. But I think at the end of the day, Waddle just provides that extra explosiveness that the Lions need.
Yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments, guys. What do you think for the debate between Smith and Waddle? Do you agree with Jet Central here? I mean, I think the general consensus is that Devontae Smith should go ahead of Waddle because of injury concerns with Waddle. But then again, a lot of people said with Smith being 180 pounds, that leaves him the chance to get injured as well. So let me see here. All right. We're going back to our Vikings guy here with a Carolina Panthers pick at number 8. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me because I don't want them to take Rashawn Slater, but I think they might. Cornerback's also in play. They're definitely not going the quarterback route after making the trade for Sam Darnold. But I do think they're going to break my heart and go with Rashawn Slater, shore up their O-line, get that protection that they need. This guy can play guard, tackle. He shut down Chase Young in college, Rashawn Slater. I mean, he's just right there, a hair below Sewell in my book as far as these top two tackles are concerned.
All right. Very, very high praise there for Slater. Anyone else here in this group have that high of praise for Slater, or is there somebody else that's ahead of him?
Oh, I mean, Slater to me is closer to being tackle 1 than tackle 3. I think he's just that special of a talent. I think Vera Tucker is getting a lot of love for being able to play tackle or guard. But the thing about Slater is he can do the exact same. Like he's going to be able to be a plug-in guy at guard or tackle day 1 in the NFL. So I think this is a round where he's going to end up going. And I think whoever gets him is going to get a steal.
All right. What do y'all think about this comment real quick while we're on the topic? Smith is better than Chase and Waddle. I don't know about that. I could maybe mention Waddle.
Devontae Smith reminds me a little bit of Deshaun Jackson in some situations because, Deshaun Jackson was not that heavy either. He came in very small, came in as special teams. And he was a speedster. But Devontae Smith is a better route runner than Waddle, in my opinion. But as far as, if you want to go off toughness, I would take Waddle over Smith to see Waddle could gain some muscle, within the year. So, I mean, it's differences that you could go with that.
They're all great. I mean, you can't really go wrong with any of them in my book.
And the thing about you go ahead, Ian.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Well, the thing about receiver that I think people don't understand, maybe more than almost any position, it's all about fit for receivers. You can make the argument that Chase is better than Waddle or Smith's better than Waddle or Chase, but it's all about where you go in the quarterback that you fit with. For an example, I think a guy like Devontae Smith and Waddle would be the number 1 receiver on a team like Baltimore's board, because a guy like Chase isn't going to be what is going to take Lamar Jackson's skill set to the next level. But then you have guys like Aaron Rodgers who are able to excel using the sideline and using those receivers that win those 50-50 balls. I mean, Drew Brees needed those guys this past year and these past couple of years, really, which is why Michael Thomas has done so well there. It's just all about fit for me, especially with those top 3 receivers. I think, and if they go in any order, is completely fine with me.
Lucas, you're having a shout out right here. It's like, how dare you?
Yeah, you wanted Slater to fall, but you know what? I got to pick with my mind and not my heart. So you got to.
Yeah, that's very true. Let me see here. Smith has thinner legs than KD, and that frightens me. Taking some shots here, man. Taking some shots.
The way the offense are in the league now, and how more finesse and less power or more offenses in the NFL, Devontae Smith is going to thrive. He just got to get a little bit bigger. That's all it is. He's just got to gain some muscle. He should be fine, though.
All right. Yeah. I agree. I think he'll put on 10, 15 pounds when he gets to the NFL. He may lose a little bit of that top end speed, but he's still going to be fast. All right. Broncos, number 9. Destin, it's yours, man. Go right ahead.
With the no trades here, I think the Broncos luck out and they don't have to trade up to get this guy. I think going out and getting Trey Lance here is the move. Drew Lock to me isn't anything stellar. I just don't think he's a guy that's going to be able to take a team to the next level like Denver needs. And they're still trying to figure out the quarterback position ever since Peyton Manning hung it up, really. So this is a guy that I think is a high risk, high reward, but they didn't have to trade up in this. So they get possibly their franchise quarterback here at 9.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're not set on anyone for their quarterback situation right now. I mean, we kind of saw how it was last year for them. They were running through quarterbacks like it was nobody's business. And that makes sense to go for a quarterback there at number 9. Number 10, we're going back to Darian with Spotlight Raiders talk. The Dallas Cowboys, Darian, it's all yours, man.
We all know Jerry Jones is going to go with one of the number 1 corners in the draft, and that is Patrick Surtain. Okay. He's going to go there because it fits the mold of the system. He plays like he's cocky like the Cowboys are, but I just feel like that's the number 1 need that the Cowboys had. Their defense was not that great last year. bringing in Dan Quinn and helping out those corners, I think that's a big pick for the Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Surtain.
All right, interesting. All right, so I have the 11th pick here with the Giants. Remind me again if somebody knows who's the wide receivers right now for the Giants. They have Sterling Shepard. Who else they got? Kenny Golladay.
And Darius Slayton.
Okay, so they're not looking to really.
John Brown too?
Yeah. So they're not looking to top off with a wide receiver here because they added a couple spots there, and they really don't need an edge. And I wouldn't necessarily say they need a lot of great offensive line help, at least at the moment. I think their offensive line's okay, but I think they're going to go with a stud at the linebacker position right here. They're either going to go linebacker or they're going to go offensive line, but I'm going to just go with a little bit of a random one here. And I'm going to say they draft Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State, because Micah Parsons just fits every bar at linebacker that you want when it comes to situations like that. Okay. Number 12, Jets Central again with the Philadelphia Eagles pick, which they moved back from with the trade with the Dolphins. Jets Central, it's all you.
Yeah, so Philly, I feel like just has two. They have a bunch of team needs, but the two biggest ones: wide receiver, cornerback. So really, J.C. Horn or Devontae Smith. I think I'm going to go with J.C. Horn because you can get that day one impact guy in rounds 2, rounds 3. So I'm going with J.C. Horn.
I think you give Howie Roseman too much credit. I think you give him too much credit for making the right move there. I mean, this man did draft Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round last year. I mean, look how that turned out.
New year.
Next year's a new year. It's the talk of every person who's ever said that they're going to get better. Okay. Destin again here at number 13 with the Los Angeles Chargers. Go ahead, Destin.
Oh, man, there's some interesting options here for the Chargers. Devontae Smith falling this far just makes me want to pull that trigger, but they just have such a big need to be able to fix the offensive line a little bit and get a really day one starter in Christian Darrisaw. I think he's going to come in. He's going to be able to start day one at left tackle at a spot that the Chargers just really haven't been able to fix in quite a while, which is kind of why Phillip Rivers had to end his career elsewhere this past year. Justin Herbert seems like the guy, so let's make him the guy for the next decade and a half and get him a left tackle.
All right. And number 14 now, the Minnesota Vikings. We'll turn it over to our Vikings guy. He's been waiting anxiously to make this pick. Go right ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I was sweating bullets here watching this thing unfold. Couple things here. There's guys on the board who fill some huge holes for the Vikings. Elijah Vera Tucker could play guard, tackle for the Vikings. O-line has to get better. Jalen Phillips is there. Provide that pass rush. We have to find a starter opposite Daniel Hunter right now. It's just a couple guys who I'm not really banking either one can get it done. Talking about Stephen Weatherly coming back, and then also the rookie from last year, DJ Wadham. But I see the best player on the board right now is at wide receiver, and I'm going Devontae Smith for the Vikings. This might be surprising, but you think about it. Adam Thielen's 30 years old, couple years left. Vikings need a number 3 wide receiver right now. They need a return guy. Devontae Smith can come in, provide that from the start. And then a couple years down the road, you got the combination of Justin Jefferson and Devontae Smith as your wide receivers, and that is pretty nice.
Wow.
That's pretty damn sweet, man.
That is sweet. Justin Jefferson and Devontae Smith. Dude, that's like Reggie. Okay, I'm not – obviously they may never turn out to be this way, but that gives me such Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison vibes from Indianapolis, honestly. Justin Jefferson is a possession guy.
It seems blasphemous, Derek. I feel like
sure.
Making some
it kind of gives me
blasphemous
like
remarks.
an underrated tandem like Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell back at Jacksonville. That's what it kind of reminds me, because Jefferson is the bigger guy, and you have Devontae Smith as that guy that can give you the finesse. So yeah, I like that's pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm doing it. You got to do it. The Vikings O-line was horrible last year, and they're the 3rd best offense in the NFL. So Kirk Cousins is very durable. He can take hits. You can fix the guard positions. We have, I think, 7 picks in rounds 3 and 4. You can find your guard help there. Let's go with the sexy pick. Let's go with Devontae Smith.
Hey, all for it. Hey, Nomadic Brian, live audience booze, Roger Goodell again. Hey, that's gonna be fun. I wish I had a couple sound bites. That's why I want a soundboard. I want to be able to do that for stuff like this, but that would be funny. All right. What do we got here? Number 15, New England Patriots, and that is me. All right. Top issues here. We got quarterback, linebacker, and wide receiver. Well, top receivers are off the board. The Patriots aren't going to worry about that. I don't believe that Cam Newton is going to be the solution that everyone thinks that he will be. So I think this is where the fourth quarterback gets taken here. I think it's going to be Mac Jones. Mac Jones from Alabama. And I just think that's just what's going to happen here. So
5 quarterbacks in the top 15.
Craziness. Absolutely craziness. All right. Jet Central, you're up now with the Arizona Cardinals at number 16.
Yeah, this one's an easy one. Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. You look at what Arizona needs. They've actually done a pretty good job in free agency of adding like huge big-time playmakers. But I definitely feel like they need work on that interior of the offensive line. Vera Tucker could come in. He provides versatility, really high floor as well. He might not be, a top 3 guard or a top 3, tackle one day, but he's reliable. You can count on him every single Sunday, and you can really move forward with him as a staple on the offensive line. So Vera Tucker for me.
All right. So we'll just break it down here because we are halfway through the draft here at this point. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, the first 3 picks are all quarterbacks for their respective teams. Kyle Pitts, Penei Sewell, and Jamar Chase are rounding out the non-quarterbacks here. Jalen Waddle to the Lions, Slater to Carolina, and Lance, the fourth quarterback, taken off the board to the Broncos. Certain, the second, the quarterback from Alabama, going to the Cowboy land. We got Micah Parsons, linebacker, going to the Giants. The Eagles making an actual good pick here and going with J.C. Horn, even though I don't believe they'll do that. Christian Darrisaw, tackle from Virginia Tech, going to the Chargers to protect Justin Herbert. Devontae Smith going to the Vikings if he happens to make it that far, joining Justin Jefferson, and that would be an amazing duo there. Mac Jones to the Patriots here, and Vera Tucker for the Cardinals. All right, going into the next spot here, our guy Darian, pick number 17, the Raiders. You got the open board. You're on the clock, my guy.
So I see that the best, honestly, I was really looking for Micah Parsons to drop because that's the guy that I wanted. But we need a safety, even though that we signed Carl Joseph and Jonathan Abrams is still there. I am going with Trevor Moehrig at number 17 from TCU. That is a guy that can play coverage and come up into the box. With knowing that Carl Joseph and Jonathan Abrams, those two guys not really great in coverage. So even if we have a high safety cover 3, the way Gus Bradley plays his high safety cover 3, Trevor Moehrig fits that spot. So I do love getting that safety there at number 17.
All right. Interesting. Very interesting. I thought you would have went with Jeremiah there, the linebacker out of Notre Dame. That would have been an interesting one.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot for our system itself, knowing that we did, because he's like an edge rusher too, knowing that we just, got Yannick Ngakoue in free agency. And we just did all defensive linemen in free agency. I feel as though that right now safety is one of our weakest spots. Safety and corner is one of our weakest spots on our defense right now.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. See, I wouldn't have known that. I would have probably went with a different guy there. So good to get the insight on it. All right, Destin, you're back up again. Number 18th pick for the Dolphins. Dolphins already got their wide receiver of the future. What do they go next?
Man, this one's tough because I feel like the Dolphins need help on the offensive side of the ball. But the number 1 guy on the board for me is at edge, and that's Kwity Paye. I'm really trying to think here.
You can either go with the edge or you go running back here. I mean,
and the issue is I love the fit of Najee Harris with the Dolphins, but I just don't think the Dolphins can pass on a guy like Kwity Paye here when he's on the board. The Colts fan in me doesn't want to take Kwity Paye because I'd love for him to be there at 21. But I think Brian Flores is licking his lips at my number one edge in the class personally. So I'm going to go ahead and say Kwity Paye goes to the Dolphins here. The fit of Najee Harris was tempting, but a running back in the top 20 of the draft just doesn't seem like something we're going to see.
I could see Najee Harris making it to there. I mean, I pissed Michael off when I said that he was going to go to the Cardinals a month or two ago before they obviously traded to get a running back earlier on or in free agency. So, it's just how it is. And Dustin, you're not being liked by Colts Nation right now. Sadly, people saying that think that happens.
Hey, I like I said, I had to take my Colts fandom out of it just because I feel like that's really what they would do. Like I said, for anybody in the comments, I would love for them to go Najee Harris. I think it's a good fit for them. I think it'd be a little bit too early if it was the Colts picking there, but I'm always okay for other teams to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Lubagus with the 19th pick here, the Washington football team. A lot of good choices here still left on the board. Who do you got?
Yeah, Washington, obviously a team I think could move up, try to get one of those quarterbacks. If they do end up getting stuck with pick 19, I'm going to go with a guy who has been getting some steam here lately the last month. I feel like he's rising up the charts. They call him the nastiest blocker in the draft. It's Tevin Jenkins from Oklahoma State. You watch his tape and you see his picture. This guy's got glasses on, looks like a little nerd, should be in the library, but he plays mean, he plays physical. I think he'd be a great fit there for Washington, improving their O-line.
All right. Cool. I like that pick. I think it's a really good one too. I mean, and I've heard a lot of people say they want to try to move him to the left side as well. He seems like a very flexible guy, so that makes a lot of sense to try and get him there. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and think for the Bears. The Bears, that's me. See, like all the top guys here, there's just nobody left that really entices me. And on top of it, I mean, they're gonna want to get some offensive help, I would imagine. Just ultimately, which guy do they select?
Derek, I mean, you can put your GM hat right now and you can take your guy at tackle out of Texas. I mean, he's right there for him.
Yeah, he is right there, obviously. But, I mean, I don't think that –
need an offensive line, too.
Yeah, they need offensive line. They definitely need offensive line. And
What about corner? Because they lost Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, they did lose Kyle Fuller. Who's on the other side? I can't remember who is on the other side for that.
Jalen Johnson played a lot of the slot, but I think he played some of the outside and he was a pretty good rookie last year. That was a day 2 guy.
Okay, you know what I'm actually going to do? I am going to be the wild card spot here. I think that this will be like one of the wild card ones here. Samuel Cosme, tackle out of Texas for the Bears. I'm seeing the chat and I'm agreeing with them that tackle, it sounds like something that they would definitely need is somebody to help bonify that offensive line. And I think Cosme has been shooting up despite what Dustin tells me and what everybody else tells me. I think his athleticism is helping him a little bit. But all right, number 21, and that is the Colts pick. And I know all of you have been waiting for this one. Destin, this is all you, man. The stream will hate you or love you based off this pick.
And that's what we like to see. But I don't think Cosme to the Bears is a bad pick. I just like to give you crap about him, just because I know he's your guy, Derek. But for me, for the Colts here, I think it's easy. I think Jalen Phillips is a guy that, if you take out injury concerns, probably is a top 10 lock. He's an athletic freak. He already has nice bend on the outside, and I think he's going to be a guy that, if he can stay healthy, is going to be special at the next level. And that word special is something the Colts have lacked in the pass rushing department. So you got to go Jalen Phillips here, fill the need. Hopefully the presence of Phillips makes a guy like Toure and Banagoo even better.
All right, cool. I'm with it. I made that pick in my Colts mock draft 3.0 in my video the other day. So not too bad here. Not too bad. His best one left on the board. All right, number 22. Going back to we're gonna go back to Lupagus again here. You have the Tennessee Titans at 22.
Yeah, a couple good options here for the Titans. You got Greg Newsome there. They could use some help in the secondary. You got some edge rushers, actually quite a few. And I'm actually going to go with a guy. I do love this guy's burst. He's kind of a violent pass rusher, Azeez Ojulari from Georgia. I think he fits in with the Titans. They like those tweener types. Put him out there, improve that pass rush, destroy the Colts moving forward. Carson Wentz is going to know the name Azeez Ojulari.
All right, interesting. All right, number 23, the Jets again. Jets Central, you're up, man.
Yeah, so we addressed quarterback earlier, Zach Wilson. I really like what the Jets did in free agency. We got Corey Davis, Carl Lawson, tons of different guys, LaMarcus Joyner. Overall, a pretty solid haul in free agency, but one position we didn't address at all, corner, might be a little bit of a reach, but at one point in time was considered a top 10 guy. I'm going Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech.
All right. Let me see if I can find him. I'm not seeing his name. There he is.
34.
Yep. I don't think it's a reach.
I don't think it's a reach.
I think that's a right. That's about where he's going to end up going. And like you said, he's a guy that a lot of people had at corner one until there were a little bit of concerns coming out that he hasn't fully recovered yet. And people can have whatever opinion they want on if you think his Pro Day 40 time video was altered a little bit, how it appeared to be with some different little splints in the time, or it felt like it was kind of rigged a little bit to help him out there. But I think Caleb Farley's great. I'm just glad he's not going to Tennessee here.
Yeah, I could see him with the Jets. I could definitely see that pick. Good player.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's another guy that, just it's the injury concern thing. But if you get over, I'll be honest. Jets Central. I thought you were going to end up going with Greg Newsome there at that pick rather than Farley. Is there a reason for Farley over Newsome in that aspect?
Upside
Okay.
for sure. I mean, the number one guy that I'm looking at for 23 is Jalen Phillips, but he was off the board because we definitely lack that other edge rusher position. But I think when it comes down to Newsome and Farley, Newsome's kind of like this late riser. And I like Newsome a lot, by the way. He's great in zone coverage, really fits what the Jets want to do. But I think Farley's upside for him to have that potential to be one day a top 10 corner, I think it's too enticing to pass up on with an extra first-round pick that wasn't initially yours to begin with.
Yeah, and Lawrence, I know that the Titans got Dupree and Autry in free agency, but I don't think they may not be sold on Autry for all things. I know Dupree is going to be the guy, but they are very thin at edge right now. So
hey, we're talking about injury concerns. I mean, Dupree's coming. I mean, I understand that a torn ACL has become like
the new norm.
I mean, it's kind of like a scratch at this point. Like everyone's recovering from it. It's a normal thing. But I mean, it's still something that is going to require rehab. He's a guy that was really succeeding off his strength on the outside, being able to outpower tackles at times. So I mean, if he doesn't recover fully, there's still a chance that he's not going to be worth that contract. So I wouldn't take them out of edge rusher yet.
And not to mention, you're going up against one of the best offensive lines in football multiple times throughout the year. It's never a bad idea to try to get even more guys to do that. All right. Spotlight Raiders talk again with the 24th pick, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. All you, man.
This might be a reach, but what I'm looking at the needs for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I love this pick knowing that James Conner has went to the Arizona Cardinals, which is a running back they need. Najee Harris will go to the Pittsburgh Steelers just because of the downhill runner that Pittsburgh likes to run. And he's a downhill runner. So I do like Najee Harris here at that pick, knowing that I thought Najee Harris would have went to Miami, but he fell. And I just felt like the way the Pittsburgh still like to run the football, I take Najee Harris there.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. That's another big one. You're right. I mean, if Connor isn't going to the Cardinals here, then yeah, that pick obviously never happens.
It would have been different. I probably would have went with Jeremiah instead of Najee Harris there, but James Conner went to Arizona, so that's why I picked Najee Harris.
Gotcha. All right. Well, okay, so 25th pick, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I actually said that I thought the Colts would trade back for the 25th pick here in my mock draft. I thought they would trade back a couple spots and might get them like an extra third rounder that we lost for this year because of Wentz trade. Honestly, they're either going to stretch for a tackle here. They're either going to stretch for a tackle or they're going to select a wide receiver here because I don't think they need a linebacker right now. They got Schobert, they got Jack, so I think they have a good, solid collection of guys there. I could even go corner if I wanted to say that I would think they would move up to do that. Let me look here. For me, honestly, it's between two guys here. Either it's Leatherwood or it is Landon Dickerson. But I think they're going to go with the more bona fide tackle position because I think that they need one. And I think they're going to stretch for it this time because I don't think they feel that they're going to get him by that time. So Alex Leatherwood, tackle for Alabama. I think Leatherwood also helped himself too with his numbers and pro days and stuff like that. So, all right. Number 26, we got Jet Central again, this time with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, so Cleveland really, this is a pretty complete team, honestly. Like offensively, like they have a lot of things figured out. Playmakers, running game, offensive line, quarterback, tons of boxes that are completely checked. But I think the one position of need is linebacker, and I'm going to go Zaven Collins out of Tulsa. Get a guy who can come in and play right away, and who can drop back in coverage.
Yeah, my friend Chase will love you for that pick. They really are looking for a linebacker right now. I mean, they have a collection of decent ones, but I don't think they have a guy that can truly do both. And I think Collins is probably the best linebacker that can do both. He makes a lot more plays in coverage than what Jeremiah does. Jeremiah is more of a downhill guy rather than somebody that can go in the back. So that makes sense here. Number 20.
Yeah, I like them both. I do like them both, but I think at the end of the day, Collins is more ready to play right now, and he fits what the Browns want to do on defense more than Jeremiah.
Yeah, understandable. All right, number 27, the Baltimore Ravens. Lupagus, you are up again, sir. It's all yours.
Yeah, you're looking at their needs. Edge is on here twice. Wide receiver. I'm sitting here looking at some of these options, and the guy I want to take for the Ravens is played right here in my backyard. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver, Minnesota. This guy has everything to be number one wide receiver. Great route runner, good size, sticky mitts. And this guy, he opted out, and then when he realized football was going to happen, he came back in and played again. So his heart, his desire is there. Give Lamar Jackson another weapon from Rashad Bateman from Minnesota.
I love that pick, to be honest with you. I really like that pick because I think Rashad Bateman is a lot different than the other wide receivers that the Ravens currently have. You got a lot of burners on the Ravens right now that are more of guys that go down the field and let Jackson just try to find ways to sneak in through there. But Bateman to me is a lot more of a possession guy that really can play the game in multiple different ways, has amazing hands. So I think it works really well for him to be there. All right, 28, New Orleans Saints. We're getting close to the end here, guys. Number 28, Destin, that is you. You have the New Orleans Saints.
This is fitting because this is one of my favorite guys throughout the draft process. One of my biggest wins, I feel like, from this draft process is that I've had Greg Newsome as CB4 for about 3 months. I just feel like his tape and his athletic build, I just think is going to be a great transition to the next level. I just think he's going to be able to come right in. He's going to be a perfect guy to have on the other side of Lattimore, who they need another corner. They just lost Janoris Jenkins to the Titans. I think a corner is what I could see them trading up possibly. They don't have really the cap space to sign a lot of these rookies that they're going to have to draft this year. So I could see them trading up and getting rid of picks to get a guy like Newsome, trading ahead of maybe the Titans or the Steelers, who both really need secondary help.
Him with Lattimore will make a great duo. Oh my gosh, yeah. Really, really does. All right. Number 29. Darian, that's you again. Number 29, the Green Bay Packers.
Just the one thing that Green Bay Packers never address in the draft, and that is a wide receiver. Devontae Adams can't do it by himself. I'm going with Elijah Moore from Ole Miss. That is the perfect fit for Aaron Rodgers, and he could be a number 2 to Devontae Adams. Address your wide receivers, Green Bay Packers. Address it. You haven't addressed it in years, so please do that. I think that's the perfect fit for Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I totally agree with that pick. Anyone else think that Elijah Moore has been sneaking his way up into the first round without even really having to say anything? Honestly,
I think he's the best receiver at the line of scrimmage in this entire draft. If you just go watch him, he made some of the SEC secondary look silly this past year. His footwork is ridiculous. He may not have had the fastest 40 time, but if you just watch him progress through his routes, his top speed is well after the 40-yard dash. He's a guy that I think is going to be incredible at the next level. I have a late first on him, and he's been one of my guys. My co-host Michael Terrazas has not been. I'm a big Elijah Moore guy. He's pretty big on Terrence Marshall. I have Elijah Moore graded just higher than Terrence Marshall personally, so I love that pick. And as a big Aaron Rodgers truther, I'd be excited to watch that.
Neil, he's calling you out right here, Darian. Like, nah, I know you, Darian. I know but there's no way in hell they take a wide receiver, even though I would agree they should.
They last year they went in the first round and picked a quarterback. They're not going to trade up and go get Mac Jones, because I see that in your next comment. They're not going to trade up and go Mac Jones. They went with Jordan Love last year, so they're not going to do that quarterback. And ever since I've been watching the NFL draft, I have not really seen them draft their wide receiver since Devontae Adams. He needs a number 2, and he needs help. He can't do it by himself.
All right. Number 30, and that is Jet Central again. Go ahead, Jet Central, with the Bills here. There's a guy I'm hoping you pick. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I'm hoping you pick him here.
Yeah, so Buffalo, I mean, really, like, as far as like team needs, I would say like cornerback number 2, definitely a priority. And you can maybe say like an Eric Stokes, or I don't know. I know that the Buffalo Bills have shown a lot of love to Asante Samuel over the past couple of weeks, but I feel like it's spot number 30 to compete with the Kansas City Chiefs, to get that extra edge of explosiveness on offense. I'm going Travis Etienne out of Clemson.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I am so glad you picked that one, because that was exactly what I was thinking. Etienne with that offense, oh my gosh, that could be scary.
Because
the running back haters are going to be in your comments now.
I don't care.
Because I was in debate of if Etienne would fit with Pittsburgh, but I was like, no, the power game fits more with Najee Harris with Pittsburgh. But Etienne is a great pick here. Him and Josh Allen in the run game, I loved it.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, let's see here. I'm making sure that I'm getting that. Okay. All right. Number 31. I'm gonna let Darian pick this one. You go ahead and do the Kansas City Chiefs here.
Why I gotta do the? Oh man, I know they my.
Hey, listen, man. I do this for a reason. It's to make you think a little bit.
Okay, so I know they addressed their offensive line in free agency, getting the top offensive lineman. Joe, what is it? Joe Thuney, right?
Joe Thuney.
Yeah, Thuney. So I think they still need to go get an offensive tackle, but this is tough, man. If I'm gonna go with defensive line, I'm gonna go Christian Barmore here.
All right,
Christian Barmore here, just because They do need rotation on their defensive line for Kansas City. They really don't have a good their defensive line do get tired in this show like that in the Super Bowl. So beef up their defensive front. I'll go Christian Barmore here.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but if I was Kansas City and Jeremiah was still there, I would be clawing at the opportunity to get Jeremiah at 31. That's just me.
I wish I could take the Buccaneers pick because I think he'll fall to the Buccaneers at the last pick.
See, in every mock I do, I love the Joker, J-O-K, out of Notre Dame going to the Browns. I just love the fit there. I think his ability to do so many things, helping them in the interior at the linebacker spot, falling back to safety if they want him to. He even played a little nickel in college. Like, he's going to be a guy that can do so much at the next level. I would love him to go to the Browns, and there's not a team that I do not want him to go to more than the Buccaneers, who do not need help in the interior. Personally, I just do not want him to go there, but that's just me.
All right. Last pick of this whole draft, and then we'll kind of go back to the chat and we'll kind of just break down a couple of these picks. We'll see what they do. But 32nd pick, last pick of the first round, Tampa Bay, the Super Bowl champions. Lupagus, this is yours. Go ahead.
It's mine. Wow. Yeah, the Bucs, they got everybody coming back. Really, I think they're set to make another deep run. They get a lot of help with the rest when Tom Brady's the quarterback. But I'm going to go with the guy who I just love in this draft. I know he's down the board a little bit. I'm going to go Greg Rousseau. He's got that God-given freakish size, long arms. He's like 6'7". Whether you play him on the edge, you play him inside, he gives you some versatility there. I know he's a major boomer bust kind of a pick, but he dominated the year he did have at Miami as a starter, 15.5 sacks. I love his upside. You're picking last in the first round. Why not take a crapshoot, roll the dice, and a guy like Greg Rousseau here?
All right. I get that. All right. Well, that is the end of that draft. We'll break this down a little bit here. First 5 picks. Chat, I think we can all agree that this will probably be what it looks like. Hence, if the Falcons don't trade away that pick, which in all honesty, I think they do. I was going to say, who had the best pick, chat, from 6 to 10 here? Was it, let me see here. Was it me with Jamar Chase? Was it Jets Central with Waddle, Lupagus with Slater, Destin with Lance, because that's his homeboy, and then certain for Darian? Destin, I know you love yourself some Trey Lance, dude. I mean, you do.
I'm not like crazy high up. Like, I'm not higher on him than some of the other people, I guess. But I mean, he's my quarterback 3A. Him and Fields are like a flip of a coin to me. It just really depends on what you want to roll with. I think Trey Lance is the higher ceiling, the higher reward quarterback to take if you're willing to develop that. I don't think he's ready to start day one. But I also don't think, and opposed to what you believe, like, and others believe about Justin Fields, I don't think Justin Fields is ready to start day one personally. I just think he has some things in his game that need to be coached into him to be able to succeed. And the quarterback position is just so important to the NFL. And there's a lot of fun, entertaining quarterbacks. The NFL is just more fun and entertaining. I want as many of these guys to succeed as possible. And Justin Fields going 3 and Trey Lance going to the Broncos at 9, I think those are both set up to be really fun picks for both teams.
Okay, so let me just ask for each one of you in here, since I have all of you in here right now. If there's one player, Jet Central, if there's one player in this draft that you could get, that you really hope that the Jets are able to get, whether that's probably at pick 23, because ultimately we know what you're going to do with the first one. But at 23, if there's somebody still available, who are you hoping that the Jets go with?
Really, there's 4 guys. There's Elijah Vera Tucker, because the Jets are they're absolutely horrendous on the interior of the offensive line. And again, I do feel like Vera Tucker has a high floor, so he can come in and play. He's a safe prospect. Caleb Farley, that's just kind of like the Jet fan in me wanting to take a swing on a guy that he might not work out because of injuries, but the upside is just too enticing. Greg Newsome would be awesome. And I still like Greg Rousseau. I know he didn't have the best of pro days, but when you go back and you watch him in 2019, like I'm from Florida, so I watched a lot of Rousseau. Like this dude was absolutely dominant, and we need that other. We brought in Sheldon Rankins, and we have Quinton Williams, brought in Carl Lawson. Just that other edge spot needs to be filled. I think when you take Rousseau's size and athletic ability and you match it with Robert Saleh, I think a lot of good things can happen.
Gotcha. Let me see.
23 would be high for Rousseau, considering he's going to fall. So maybe 34 for him.
Gotcha. Lupicus, what about you? 14. I mean, I know you saw Devontae Smith there, and you obviously jumped on that. But at 14, who were you hoping is still there that the Vikings will go for?
If I'm looking for the guy who can give us the most immediate help in 2021, it's going to be Rashawn Slater. He's a potential to be one of those ones you kill two birds with one stone kind of a pick, because you let him and Ezra Cleveland battle out for left tackle. The loser ends up at guard. You're filling two needs with one pick. So I'm hoping Slater gets there, but, man, I'll take any of those three receivers as a consolation prize.
All right, I got you. All right, Darian, what about you, man? Number 17, the Raiders there, a lot of options. Who's somebody that you really hope you can get?
Micah Parsons.
Okay.
That's been really big on our draft boards when it comes to the Raiders. Micah Parsons will fit well with the linebacker core, having Wachowski there, having Corey Littleton, and to put Parsons on that side too. And even if I'll say Micah Parsons or Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins was one of those guys that we looked at because, we do need a right tackle. So that would have been a good look for us if he was there. I think he was there at 17. If I'm not mistaken.
He was there at 19.
He was there at 17. Okay. But I just feel like the defense was more important at 17. So I will go with Micah Parsons more than anything.
Now, I'll put you on the spot here real quick, and I don't mean to, but with Micah Parsons, I mean, did you hear about the issue that he was having at Penn State last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I was hearing about the issue that he was having, but you got to think about it. It's the Raiders. They pick the guy that they want, no matter if the issue's there or not.
Yeah, that's true.
They go based off the talent, and if the talent is there, and if he was the best player available at 17, no matter what the issue was, they would have picked Micah Parsons.
Destin, I mean, you're a Colts guy just like me. 21, who are you hoping is still there that we can just take for the pickings?
My more realistic answer will be Kwity Paye or Jalen Phillips. I just think those two are the only edge rushers that I have a first round grade on personally, and the only guys that I think I would take in the first round. I don't dislike some of the other edge rushers. I just think they're day two type talents. My pipe dream guy is still J.C. Horn. I would love for him to fall to the Colts. I know a lot of Colts fans are probably leaning more towards taking edge or tackle in the first round. I'm really not sold on taking tackle in the first round. There's just so many day one starters that are going to come out of day two next year that I would much rather go and get a guy to play on the other side of Rhodes on the outside for corner or fix that edge rusher department.
All right, very cool. Last thing I'll get to. Hey, love all with the $3 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Sorry I'm late. Love the streams. Hey, I appreciate you coming in yesterday and dropping that $3 donation as well yesterday with the test stream. Appreciate you being in here as always. So listen, guys, I think that's going to end the stream here. Appreciate everybody in here who took the time out of their Sundays to do this with me. It was a really fun hour. Glad to do this. It was a lot of fun, a lot of great insight for the draft. I mean, how's everybody feeling? We got 11 days now? 11 days till this draft, and it's like counting down to Christmas for me.
Heck yeah.
I cannot wait.
Better.
Raiders got 8 picks, so I'm looking forward to see what they got to do there with those 8 picks. And those 8 picks is between 1 and 6 because we don't have no 7th round picks. So I'm waiting for it. I'll see what the Raiders are going to do. It's a hit and miss for us this year, so they got to be on point this year for the Raiders.
Is say Gruden on the hot seat? If
yes.
They don't,
yes.
I shouldn't ask you that. I know you're responsible for that one.
If he don't get this draft right.
Darian's about to take Gruden's seat at the facility. And
does that mean
Gruden
does that mean Mayock's on the hot seat as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just feel like it's time for Mayock to make the picks and not Gruden make the picks.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat that came in and hung out with us. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, go Colts.